Have you ever watched a movie that completely changed the way you see the universe? For me, and I'm sure for many of you, that movie is Christopher Nolan's masterpiece, Interstellar. Released back in 2014, it's one of those films that doesn't just entertain. It stays with you, makes you think, and sparks endless conversations. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into this sci-fi epic. We'll explore the mind-bending science behind it, unpack its profound emotional themes, and discuss why, even years later, Interstellar remains a landmark achievement in filmmaking. It's more than just a space movie. It's a story about humanity, love, and our relentless will to survive against impossible odds. So, buckle up, because we're about to journey through wormholes, black holes, and the very fabric of space-time. Let's start with the premise, which is both terrifying and brilliant. The film is set in a near future where Earth is dying. A global blight has wiped out most crops, the air is thick with dust, and humanity is on the brink of extinction. It's a bleak, gritty reality that feels hauntingly plausible. Our hero, Cooper, is a former NASA pilot turned farmer, a man who dreams of the stars but is grounded by the dust of a failing planet. He's raising two kids, Tom and the fiercely intelligent Murph, in a world where society has turned its back on exploration and science, focusing only on survival. But survival on Earth is becoming impossible. This setup is crucial because it establishes the stakes. It's not about adventure for adventure's sake. It's a desperate, last-ditch effort to save everyone we love. The emotional core of the film is established right here. A father's love for his children, and the impossible choice he must make between staying with them or leaving to secure their future. This is where the secret NASA mission comes in. Cooper stumbles upon the remnants of the space agency, which has been operating in secret, working on a plan to save humanity. Their plan, the Lazarus missions. A mysterious wormhole has appeared near Saturn, seemingly placed there by an unknown intelligence, offering a gateway to a distant galaxy with potentially habitable worlds. 12 astronauts have already gone through, one for each potential planet, to send back data. Now, a final mission, the Endurance, must follow up on the most promising signals. Cooper, with his piloting skills, is their only hope. The scene where he has to say goodbye to Murph is absolutely heart-wrenching. She feels abandoned, betrayed by her hero dad who is leaving her behind. This moment defines their entire relationship and becomes the emotional anchor for the rest of the film. It's a promise he makes to return, a promise that will be tested by the laws of physics itself. One of the most praised aspects of Interstellar is its commitment to scientific accuracy. Christopher Nolan worked closely with theoretical physicist Thorne to ensure the science was as grounded in reality as possible. Let's talk about that wormhole. Visually, it's not a flat disk like we often see in sci-fi, but a sphere. This is what a real three-dimensional gateway through four-dimensional spacetime would theoretically look like. And the journey through it is mind-bending, showing the crew literally touching the bulk of higher dimensions. Then there's the black hole, Gargantua. The visual representation of Gargantua and its accretion disk is considered one of the most scientifically accurate ever put to film. The light from the disk is bent by the immense gravity, creating that iconic halo effect above, below, and in front of the black hole. Thorne's equations even led to new scientific insights about how these phenomena might appear. But the most crucial scientific concept in the film is time dilation. This is Einstein's theory of relativity in action. The closer you get to a massive gravitational source, like a black hole, the slower time passes for you relative to someone far away. The film demonstrates this with devastating effect on the first planet they visit, Miller's planet. It's an ocean world, orbiting dangerously close to Gargantua. For every hour they spend on its surface, 7 years pass back on the Endurance, and on Earth. They encounter massive tidal waves, lose a crew member, and when they finally return to the ship, just a few hours later, 23 years have passed. Romilly, the crew member who stayed behind, has aged 2 decades, and Cooper watches years of video messages from his children, seeing them grow up, get married, and feel abandoned by him. It's an absolutely brutal and powerful depiction of relativity's consequences. It turns a scientific theory into a source of profound human drama and heartbreak. The film's exploration of human nature is just as compelling as its science. The crew of the Endurance represents the best and worst of us. We have Cooper, the determined explorer driven by love. Brand, the scientist torn between logic and emotion. And then there's Dr. Mon, played by Matt Damon, who represents the dark side of the survival instinct. He was the bravest of the original Lazarus astronauts, the leader they all looked up to. But when Cooper and Brand arrive on his icy planet, they find a man broken by loneliness and fear. He faked his data, luring them there with false hope, just to be rescued. Man's betrayal is a shocking twist. He argues that the primal instinct to survive, to save oneself, overrides everything else. His character raises a difficult question. In the face of certain death, what are we capable of? Would our noble ideals hold up, or would fear consume us? It adds a layer of complex human conflict to the cosmic journey. Now, let's talk about the film's climax, which takes us into the fifth dimension. After man's betrayal, Cooper and the robot TARS make the desperate choice to slingshot around Gargantua and eject into the black hole itself, hoping to collect the quantum data needed to solve the gravity equation back on Earth. What happens next is pure cinematic poetry. Cooper doesn't get crushed into nothingness. Instead, he enters the Tesseract, a five-dimensional construct created by future humans. It's a physical representation of time, laid out like a library of moments, where he can see into every point in his daughter Murph's childhood bedroom. He realizes he is Murph's ghost, the one who was knocking books off her shelf and sending messages in binary through the dust. He wasn't chosen by aliens. He was chosen by his own daughter, through a causal loop that spans time and space. The they who built the wormhole and the Tesseract are humanity itself, evolved into beings who can manipulate gravity and time. This is where the film's central theme truly crystallizes. Love is not just an emotion. It's a physical, quantifiable force that can transcend dimensions. As Brand says earlier in the film, love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space. Cooper, through his love for Murph, is able to communicate across decades and light years, using gravity to send her the data from the black hole. He taps out the message in Morse code on the second hand of the watch he gave her before he left. Back on Earth, the adult Murph, now a brilliant physicist herself, deciphers the message from her childhood ghost. She solves the equation, allowing humanity to master gravity and escape the dying Earth. It's an incredibly ambitious and emotional resolution. It ties together the scientific mystery and the father-daughter story in a way that is both mind-bending and deeply satisfying. It suggests that our connections to each other are the most powerful force in the universe. The ending of Interstellar is bittersweet. Cooper is rescued, floating in space near Saturn, but it's over a century later in Earth time. He awakens on a massive cylindrical space station, Cooper Station, orbiting Saturn. Humanity is saved, thanks to him and Murph. He gets to reunite with his daughter, but she is now an old woman on her deathbed, surrounded by her own children and grandchildren. Their reunion is brief and poignant. She tells him that a parent shouldn't have to watch their own child die, and encourages him to go find Brand, who is alone on Edmund's planet, setting up a new colony, humanity's new home. So Cooper, a man out of time, once again steals a ship and heads back into the unknown. It's not a perfect happy ending, but it's a hopeful one. It affirms the film's spirit of exploration. Our journey is never truly over. There's always another frontier to cross, another star to reach for. So, why does Interstellar resonate so deeply? I think it's because it perfectly blends awe-inspiring spectacle with intimate human emotion. It takes the biggest questions we can ask: what is our place in the cosmos? Are we alone? What is the nature of time? And grounds them in a relatable story about a father's love for his daughter. The performances are incredible. Matthew McConaughey gives a career-best performance as Cooper. Hans Zimmer's powerful organ-heavy score is iconic, becoming a character in itself, capturing both the majesty of space and the loneliness of the journey. Interstellar is a film that champions science, intelligence, and curiosity. In a world that often seems to be turning inward, it's a powerful reminder that our greatest achievements come from looking up at the stars and dreaming of what lies beyond. It's a call to be explorers, to be pioneers, and to believe in the limitless potential of the human spirit. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through Interstellar. This is a film I could talk about for hours, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's your favorite scene? What scientific concept blew your mind? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a like and subscribe for more content about the films that make us think and dream. Until next time, stay curious.